okay, people will judge you if they want to, regardless. That's on them. But the reason you're not starting is not because of a fear that you're scared of what other people think. It's more so deep rooted fear of what you'll think of yourself. Hi, my name is Nina Ali, and this is why and how I started YouTube at the age of 21. Growing up, what I remember was that I would constantly change what I wanted to be. I remember the very first thing that I wanted to be was an equestrian, which is very far off from wanting to help people, but a little girl wanting to ride a pony could never hurt or harm anyone. But then after that, slowly I realized, you know what? No, I want to base what I want to do in my life to be centered around helping other individuals. I realized that help can come from sharing your experience, using your voice to connect with other individuals, sharing your opinion, how you feel, in hopes that maybe it's going to resonate with some individuals. Maybe it can serve as a way of comforting or bringing some sort of feeling of being seen. So that's why I decided to start recording myself and making videos. Something that I remember was that because I kept changing my mind so many times growing up with what I wanted to do with my life or what my purpose was meant to be, is that I heard this phrase that if you don't know what your purpose is in life, to look back on your childhood, because there are a bunch of hints back then on what you may be more inclined to do in the future. And I thought that was very interesting. I don't know how true that is or if there's research to back it up, but there was always something that stood out to me from my childhood, and that was when I would get ready to go to bed, or when I would wake up in the morning and I was in the bathroom brushing my hair, brushing my teeth, just like washing my face, I would look at myself in the mirror and I would just use my imagination. I would just start talking to the mirror as if I'm in front of a camera recording myself, or as if I'm on a TV show, or like I'm a host for a show. And I remember feeling super confident, super sure of myself that, yeah, this is as if like I'm an actress. I'm portraying some sort of emotion, some sort of character, and I'm sharing that with an audience, except my audience was myself in my bathroom. And that stuck with me for a long time. And it was very interesting because throughout middle school, high school, I was a very shy individual, was very introverted, kept to myself. And I remember my first year of middle school in sixth grade, I told myself, okay, Nina, you have to step outside your comfort zone and you have to break out of your shell of this shyness. Like, we can't continue being this shy person. So I decided to join theater. And at the time, there's like a bee around me. I'm scared. At the time, it was the first year of theater in sixth grade was more like improv. We didn't have any plays or anything. And so I remember having the best time ever. I had so much fun. And then the following year, seventh grade, I decided to continue with theater. And I was in this um, group called Advanced Drama. There's Advanced Drama and Play Production, and the only difference between these two was that Advanced Drama would do one play a year in a school year, and Play Production would do two plays in a school year. So I took it upon the three lines that I was assigned in Advanced Drama for that one play. I was like, I'm gonna make the most out of my three lines because this is a 2 hour play, And I think I was one of the very few students in that class and in that group to get the least amount of lines in the play. And at first I was upset, but then I was like, you know what? Quality over quantity. If I really want to step out of my shell or my comfort zone, I need to make the most of what I'm given. And I remember I had a blast. It's as if whoever I was in my day to day, in my real life, that shy, quiet, fearful girl in middle school, out the window, because it was as if I could be someone else. And because I put in that effort, the following year in eighth grade, I was one of the very few students in my class to be accepted into play production. Anyways, I continued theater until my freshman year of high school, which was completely different system. It wasn't more like we would do a full-on play throughout the year, but we would do like mini scenes where it was like between 5 to 10 minutes long, and then we would go to like competitions. It was called DTASC, like Drama Teachers Association of something California, something like that. And after that, I quit theater because I decided to do something else, try a new activity or hobby in high school. But point being, theater was one of the most pivotal moments in my life that leads me to Sin from the Camera right now. The next one would be my freshman year of high school. I took a biology class and we had to do a 10-minute presentation about this disease or disorder that we were each assigned to, and we would have to present from the entire class. No flashcards, no looking at your poster board. It had to be all from your memory, what you learned, whether you memorized, whatnot, up to you. I realized, you know what, for 10 minutes, I cannot memorize a full-on speech. And if I forget something, I'm gonna just forget it. So then I remember I would consistently practice over and over again. I would talk with my friend. I told her, do you have a few minutes? I want to tell you my speech, or I want to present to you my project. And I would fumble so many times until it was as if I became a researcher and I became an expert in what I had studied. So then I remember that teacher at the time, she was very strict to an extent, and she wasn't the type to be very easygoing in grading. You had to really put a lot of effort if you wanted the grade, like you earned that grade. And after each presentation, she was like, okay, next, next, next. And that was my turn. I did the presentation and I felt so good and so confident afterwards. When I was done, I was walking back to my seat, and to my seat, I had to pass by her desk. As I was passing by, she said, Nina, that was one of the best presentations I have heard. And it might have been a very small compliment on her end, but for someone who I rarely saw this teacher give compliments, it felt like the world of a compliment to me. I felt so seen. I felt like, okay, um, I'm probably doing something differently, something right to be given such a compliment, or just a random thing that she probably thought I'm just telling the student what I thought. She had a good presentation. But that was another thing that really stuck with me. And it made me realize that how much I enjoyed presenting in front of people, and how even the initial nerves I had, out the window, they went away because I felt like I'm an expert in this topic, and I'm just here to share with people information, and maybe it's going to help them and maybe it won't. I don't know. During COVID, I realized, you know what? I love speaking a lot. And so I got a mini small microphone that I still have to this day. And it was like $20 from Target. And I sat there, connected it to my iPad, and I just started recording as if I was having my own podcast and talking about my high school experience. So I did that and I had a lot of fun with it, but I never published it. Another thing that I realized with that is why it took me so long, because that was like about 4 or 5 years ago. Why did it take me so long to publish something? And I realized that it was because I have these perfectionist tendencies where I think that if I want to start something from the very first day, I have to be this perfect individual who has everything down. And if I don't, people are going to judge me. Whereas now it's more so that, okay, people will judge you if they want to, regardless. That's on them. But the reason you're not starting is not because of a fear that you're scared of what other people think. It's more so deep-rooted fear of what you'll think of yourself. And not necessarily that other people will judge you hard or harshly, but you're the one who's going to judge yourself the most. And then that really stuck with me. And I was like, I don't want to judge myself, because if I see someone sitting on the grass on a random Saturday talking in front of a camera, I'd be in awe, because that's something that deep down inside I wanted to do. And so I decided, you know what? I kept those podcast recordings, and I just kept it there until, I felt comfortable. And I've never published a podcast, the episodes that I recorded, and I never will. But needless to say, that was the start of what this is right now. Flash forward to the beginning of this year, around January of 2025, I got my mic and I got my phone stand, and I was like, you know what? Let's actually seriously do this, and let's actually start doing video recordings, not just like voice or audio, like a podcast style. And I started recording videos. I think I recorded like 4 or 5 videos, and I did it under a name called Empowered Minds. Hello, everyone. My name is Nina Ali, and welcome to Empowered Minds. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Empowered Minds. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Empowered Minds. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Empowered Minds. So what you're seeing right now are, I don't know, like 4 or 5 intro clips of me starting a video of what I thought would have been named my YouTube channel, Empowered Minds, but I ended up changing it to just my name, because Empowered Minds was the name of the club that I started at my community college, and it was a very important part of my life at the time, that I started something on my own, and I created this community on my own, mainly for myself, to feel like I had a sense of belonging at my community college. But it ended up being such a beautiful thing that I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna make videos online, might as well name it the same thing. Then I decided, you know what, I want to change that completely, because I would put a lot of thought and effort into making videos that felt very structured in a sense. Whereas I'm someone who, when I want to speak about something that I'm passionate about, all I need to do is start speaking, and then blah, 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 everything else fades away. So I decided that I did not want to publish those, and I want to start afresh. And funny enough, just simply starting recording videos and watching my videos over and over again, hearing my voice over and over again, has made me more and more comfortable with seeing myself on camera. Another thing that I did was, I would tell my closest friends, hey, can we do like video updates of like our day, our week, our month, or like random cool moments that happen in our life, because we don't go to the same school, and we rarely have like time to call each other or to hang out. Maybe it would be fun to do like a shared album between us, and then just publish like 2 or 3 minute videos of like our lives, something that we want to share. I remember I'd start doing that, and I had so much fun just simply me watching back my videos. And my friends, I think they enjoyed it too. I mean, they're the judge of that, but I know I enjoyed watching back my videos. And even though I wasn't sharing something very extravagant or grand, it was just like tidbits of my day, I felt like, wow, it just felt so natural. It was like something inside of me was lighting up, like something was sparking inside of me. And then that's when I realized, you know what, Nina? The fear of being judged by others, the fear of being seen, the fear of failure, the fear of imperfection was way less than the fear and the regret I would have of never starting. When I would have moments of doubt, I would go to YouTubers that I was really into or very interested in watching their videos, and I would go back to their oldest videos, and I would see, wait, their entire system has completely like a 180, a shift in how they made their videos. And just by them staying consistent and just putting themselves out there, honestly, that gave me so much motivation. It's a practice thing too. The more and more you do something, the more you realize you become comfortable with it. And at first I thought, oh, in the beginning when I was doing these videos, I kept thinking, I don't feel super comfortable. Maybe this isn't for me. I don't know. Should I just stop? And I thought, you know what? You're starting something. You have a bunch of fear around it, but you also have this blazing, burning passion to start it. Might as well just give in to that passion, just start it, you know? So then, to answer a question that people may have when they're watching these videos, people may have when they come across this channel, and something that I want to address out loud for myself is that I'm mainly using this platform as a means to my growth, to reflect on where I'm at in life, and to hopefully grow as an individual. um, One of the reasons that I'm double majoring in communications and philosophy. One of the reasons I chose communications was that I love connecting with people and speaking with people and um, understanding different people's perspectives and takes on things. So that's exactly where I'm heading towards with this platform. Now, as for the future and what it holds for me, and if that will change, I have no idea. But we're just going to go with the flow. We're just going to go with this for now. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. And um, until next time, bye.